Happy Easter to all of our St. John's friends and families. I'm recording this Easter message with a little tinge of sadness because we cannot be all together tonight and tomorrow to celebrate Easter. And that's part of the world that we live in at this day, at this time. I want to say thank you to all of those who decorated the church. It looks beautiful. I love this view of our church, looking at the mosaic of the resurrection, the mosaic that tells us every Sunday that the love of God, the suffering of Christ, conquers everything in this world, and that we will triumph for everything. So hope is abound, and God's grace fills us with peace and joy. I just wanted to share a couple thoughts. First, I know that sometimes it's hard to not become pessimistic, but we always have to remember that God's message is a message of love. God doesn't preach death and destruction. God desires our morality. He desires that we work for justice, that we work for concern out of the outcast and the oppressed, that we work for concern for all those who are ill. The second point is for all of those who are on the front lines. At latest count, 2 million people in our world have this virus. Over 100,000 people have died. That sadness can be overwhelming. But we need to know that God's love is a suffering love. It's a sacrificial love. God's love is a redemptive love. What is redemptive about God's love is knowing that He suffers with us, knowing that He serves us, knowing that He is there in our grief, knowing that His love embraces us even when we're lonely, even when we're by ourselves, even when we're isolated like we are in these days. I hope that you have a grace and hope-filled Easter, even if you're by yourself. And always remember the words of Isaiah. Isaiah the prophet said that he's hopeful that when the ruins are rebuilt, that a shaken people will be restored. We have hope that we'll be restored as we conquer, as we get through this virus. The second thing is that God's grace is always with us. God's grace doesn't end sin and suffering or death. What God's grace does is it allows us to carry our cross, allows us to pick up the broken pieces of this world and to make something holy out of them. May God bless you this Easter. Know that I love you, and I pray for you all daily, and I look forward to the day when we can come together again and celebrate the miracle of the Mass in our church together. Amen.